that list of players that can do all that is very, very few.
Devin Booker, and we're talking defense. So last year, the Suns were 1.7 points per 100 possessions better defensively when Booker rested.
And truthfully, that's not that terrible, because when you look at the eye test, it felt a lot worse last season. It felt like he regressed. He was in the 23rd percentile in perimeter isolation defense and 25th percentile in help defense talent. Those are metrics from the B-Ball Index. Not very good. Those more back up what I was feeling like I was watching with Book last year. And there is some hope in this regard, because we saw like 1 or 2 seasons ago Book be a really good defender, an above average defender. And that's what they're going to need this year, because you're starting 6'1" Tyus Jones, 6'4" Bradley Beal, and Devin Booker is probably going to be guarding more wings than even last year. You're going to need him to be a little bit more like the guy that we saw in the Olympics, who was taking primary defensive matchups, who was embracing them. We don't want Devin Booker to be a lockdown defender. We don't want him to be a role player on offense. Obviously, he's going to have to do a lot more than that, be closer to the 27 points per game scorer. But the hope is, without putting as much of the onus on him to score and facilitate, and putting him off the ball a little bit more, he can conserve energy for the defensive end, because that's where undoubtedly they need him better this year.
I'm sorry, you can't ask a guy to be your point guard, so your best passer, your best scorer, you're one of your top defenders, all these things, and expect everything to be at the highest of levels. There's only a handful of guys who have ever done that in the game at all levels, and been a primary ball handler with it as well. So I think having him not have to have that load lets him focus again more on defense, like you're saying, and it puts him back in a passable defensive spot, which is all you need. You just don't need him to be a liability. You just need him to be good enough.
Yeah. I mean, that list of players that can do all that is very, very few. I mean, yeah, it's rare, because even the greats have something that they weren't exactly the best at, right?
We all silly like the mayor.